Hi there. If you've clicked on the thumbnail of this video, then you know that we had a baby recently. Our daughter is almost half a year old at this point. While I was pregnant, my friends and colleagues with children almost made me feel as if my life would end when we had a child and I would have no more time for my hobbies at all. But I was pleasantly surprised that it's been much better than I thought it would be. And I was able to recover or reclaim my hobbies, sometimes in slightly changed ways, but it was possible nonetheless. As a bit of a disclaimer, this is mostly due to our circumstances, but also because of the personality of our child and the way that my husband and I can help each other. I am very much aware that many parents are doing this under vastly different circumstances, and we are quite fortunate in how our life is going. We live in Germany, where we have the ability to take up to 3 years of parental leave. Now, this is separate from the parental allowance. The allowance is a federal pool of money that is shared between the two parents, and it is not directly linked to the parental leave. But first, about parental leave, I applied for 2 years of maternity leave. I can take up to 3 years, and I only need to inform my employer, but I don't need to ask for permission. My husband is taking 5 months, and he split them into 3 different periods. He took 3 months at the very beginning after our baby was born to help with the worst of the postpartum recovery period. And he is taking another month soon, and he would take 1 more month when she is a year old, because that was a recommendation from other fathers that we know who said it's really great if you have the time once your child is a bit older and once you can do a bit more with them. The financial side is a bit difficult to explain. I started recording a voiceover and I think it would just bore you to tears, and it's way too complicated. Let's just say that while I'm off work for 2 years, I have a reduced income for only the first year and a half, and then I can return to work part-time, or I could stay for the rest of the period, but it would be unpaid. So the first 3 months of our baby's life, we were both home. My husband was home full-time, and we were able to support each other quite well. Despite that, the beginning was rough. There is probably nothing that really prepares you for the first weeks, especially just the lack of sleep. We ended up combo feeding, which is when you do a mixture of breastfeeding and feeding formula relatively soon in our baby's life, because I was not producing enough milk for what she wanted. And that turned out to be a blessing, because we were able to split the nights and just get back to an okay amount of sleep. And by okay, I mean like 5 hours of sleep for myself per night, but that is doable and you can work with that. We were also super fortunate with our baby. It's a bit of a lottery or roulette what kind of baby you will receive. Is the baby gonna be so uncomfortable that he or she will just cry all the time? We ended up with a very easygoing baby. My friends have described her as a beginner baby. And we were just super fortunate that she started sleeping through the night relatively early, I think at 7 weeks. And just getting regular sleep at night made a vast difference for our well-being. In terms of my art, apart from the beginning, I guess the first 3 months when my husband was also off work were the best, because she slept quite a lot. And my husband and I split the days after she started sleeping through the night, and I had regular breaks where I could just paint if I wanted to. After that, we went through a period where she couldn't sleep during the day anymore because she got more sensitive to sounds and light. But by now, I think we've found a good method again. I had to readjust what I'm doing. I make my art in a corner of the living room. And this is also where our baby stays, because we don't have a separate nursery. She was also such a noisy newborn baby at night, and my husband snores, that we couldn't keep the two of them in the same room, and that's why she's not sleeping with us. She sleeps and plays in the living room, and that was fine while she was able to sleep wherever and whenever. But nowadays I need to lower the blinds and turn off all the lights for her to sleep, so I cannot make art next to her anymore. That stopped me from making art for a while, until I realized she could take the naps in our bedroom instead and just sleep in the living room at night. That also means I can no longer make art at night. I can only do that during the day while she is napping, or on the weekends when my husband is giving me a break. Now that my husband is back at work, he usually takes over at around 7 or 8 p.m. and then just takes care of her until she falls asleep. So there's been quite a few adjustments, and I'm sure that more of them will happen in the future as well. Despite all of that, I managed to paint a couple of pieces, and I will show them to you now. This here was the first piece of art that I was able to do after her birth. I think it was around 3 weeks. This is a coloring book that my mom gave me for Christmas, and it's based on the artwork by the Japanese artist Hokusai. And I really love his work, especially the Great Wave of Kanagawa and the Red Mount Fuji. You can see here that it's quite a detailed coloring book. And I just took out a set of watercolors and just colored the Mount Fuji. Didn't really care too much if it was accurate or not. I was just happy to make a little bit of art again. And I also received some coloring pages from my mom from Clairefontaine. She had bought this coloring book while on vacation in Denmark, and it has the same design printed 4 times, so that you can try different colors or different media. So she gave some of them to me because she said she doesn't need 4 of them. And I remember this one really clearly because our baby was so young that she still slept or napped on our shoulders. And she woke up while I was coloring this one, and I just laid her over my shoulder and kept painting with the brush, and I was really surprised that I was able to get something done. And of course my accuracy wasn't too great. I painted over the lines a few times. I couldn't move too much, but I was able to paint while holding my baby. That was pretty amazing to me. And she slept. I also tend to be a perfectionist when it comes to my art, and this taught me to let go of this a little bit. And instead of focusing on the things that this isn't very accurate, things like that, I can instead focus on the things that it is. It's a pretty looking coloring page, and I made art while having a very young baby, and that is an achievement too. Before I had our daughter, I had also already drawn a few sketches in my sketchbook here, and I colored several of them after her birth. This one here was, I think, the second painting that I did. Then the fox and this little seahorse, and they came out really well. This was drawn and painted after her birth, and this one here too, this one too. And now I only have 3 more pages left to complete in the sketchbook before it's ready for a sketchbook tour. Unfortunately, 2 of the pages left are really ambitious character illustrations, but my goal for the rest of the year is to complete the sketchbook. My most complex paintings have been this one here with neopastels. It's also my latest video. This one here that I uploaded without a voiceover because those take time. I believe I painted this one on the weekend when my husband took care of our baby for 3 hours. And this is my proudest work. This is a painting of our baby when she was just 15 days old, and I think I painted this 3 or 4 weeks after her birth. I drew it based on a picture, and I'm really proud of this one. I think I may actually be passing through the time where I have good opportunities for art right now. I'm actually very nervous about when she becomes more mobile and she starts crawling around. I will need to secure so many things from her. Stuff like this table easel with the paint by numbers of Mount Fuji. It's sitting on the floor right now because it's too big for my art table and it takes up too much space on the dining table, but I will probably move it back there soon just to finish it. Things like these markers, once she's able to reach them, that's not going to be good. There's things too that can be broken easily, like this lamp here. I've tried to secure some of the things by adding an acrylic glass plate in front of this cabinet here, which is holding my art books and a lot of media and fixatives, that kind of stuff that kids really shouldn't touch. Sorry about the feed, I received that box from my aunt. I've also tried to secure all of the cables for my art table in this box here. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be done. My art table is also usually covered in at least 2 or 3 projects, so this is the cleanest that it has been in a while. But it's not exactly baby safe or toddler safe. So yeah, I'm dreading the days to come once she starts crawling and walking and I will need to lock up all of my art supplies. I'm currently working on this painting of Paul and Lady Jessica from Dune. And I have so many ideas for other artworks that I just need to get around and paint at some point. That being said, painting is not my main hobby. I'm actually mostly a gamer, so I have more free time that I could use for painting or for art, but I'm actually using it to play with my friends, and that has helped me to not feel isolated so much while I'm staying home full time with the baby. But both gaming and making art again has really helped me feel like myself and feel like we're getting back to a bit of normalcy or a new version of our day-to-day life. I'm also letting go of a lot of perfectionism around art and also video editing. There's probably a little baby scream in my previous video that I uploaded. Is that going to kill you when you watch that video? Probably not. So I'm just trying to be a bit more relaxed about all of these things and not spend ages perfecting my voiceovers and stuff like that, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter. But it also really helps that I'm not dependent on YouTube at all. This is just a hobby for me. It's not a source of income. I feel for the content creators or artists on YouTube who have this as part of their revenue and who need to churn out as many videos as they can, even if they have young children and babies, because that is a lot of pressure. Just making videos and editing them, voiceovers, they take so much time, and I'm glad I can just do my videos whenever, and it really doesn't have any impact on my life or my finances. In fact, I'm trying to avoid giving myself deadlines for my art or my videos, because my art and YouTube are both hobbies and they're supposed to take my mind off things and help me relax and not add stress to my life. It has been helpful to have my art and my hobbies to take my mind off things, because it hasn't been easy all the time. Despite having an easygoing baby, there were times that were very tough, especially at the very beginning after our baby's birth. Our baby was born with health complications. Thankfully, they are easy to treat, and it looks like she is developing along a normal path, and she may be medication-free in a few months. But this has certainly been a source of emotional stress for us, especially at the beginning. At the same time, I was diagnosed with health complications from the pregnancy and birth, so I had my own medical treatment to undergo. I've completed it now, but it's up in the air if I will have more complications in the future or not. And while all of this was going on, my dad was diagnosed with cancer and has been undergoing treatment. Thankfully, it's been going well so far, but he has just been released from the hospital after a sudden medical emergency. On that note, we don't have a village, it's just my husband and I, and we need to make it work with just the two of us. Our closest family members are my parents, who live a bit over an hour away. But as I mentioned, my dad is sick, so we have been visiting them instead of them visiting us. My brothers live too far away, and my husband's family is in another country and also have children of their own. Reclaiming my hobbies has played a tremendous role in feeling like myself again and feeling well mentally and being rested enough to take care of our daughter. I hope things will continue as they are right now. Our baby is currently a very, very happy baby, very smiley. I have lots of ideas for my art. I have little projects going on. I'm currently cataloging my art supplies before I lock them away. And I'm also preparing to start another bullet journal for next year because I really miss doing that. And I have a bunch of painting ideas and just need to slowly chip away at these things. And maybe you will come along and I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Thank you for watching. Bye.